Yeah. And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D Rose.
Champ.
Why I oughta. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose, your reigning defending big champ, is right over there on that side of your screen. Shout out D Rose, man. One of these days we'll get a streak going, man. It's been a little bit. Keep passing it back and forth, but really, I feel like I'm just getting the worst of it over here, dude. I feel like you've eaten sours, like 2 times? And I'm just over here, like, eating it twice. I'll fucking pass it back to you. You pass it back to me. And dude, it's rough over here.
Spicy bean in there. Got your
Dude,
little spicy bean.
They're both bad now. And I had the least worst one. So, anyway, what you guys have to look forward to on today's show, we are going to recap UFC Vegas 114. Ended up being a fairly decent card. We'll give you our thoughts and opinions on that. We got the Wheel of Doom because I don't know how to pick any fights, apparently. We got our UFC news and fight announcements as usual, and we'll end out the show with our UFC London Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. Our predictions, preview, and our picks for the fights this weekend. And we'll close out the show with the pick champ as usual. So, D-Rose, is London Fight Week. Notoriously, I've been good with UFC in England. That's where I won the most money I've ever won at. We were live waiting on Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad to start round 3, dude. And once that did, I just felt so nice. And hopefully we can run it back this weekend with some banger bets. I already have maybe 2, 3 locked in. I'm looking at a big underdog, kind of just probably going to bet him by decision. I already have him parlayed up, but I am confident on a dog this weekend. But we'll get all into that. Before we do, though, D Rose, how you been over the past week, my guy?
Man, things have been great, and I know you talked about the card. I mean, you can make the argument that this might have been card of the year. I mean, you had 2 potential fight of the year contenders on the card, in my opinion. And yeah, some great performances from some young guys. A couple of veterans came through as well. So I thought it was a fun-filled night of fights. Got smoked again on my bets, dude. Man, I just don't know what it's been at this point. It's been and it's always by one, and I don't know why. I felt pretty confident in that over 3.5 in the main event. As soon as Josh Emmett got dropped the first time, I was like, man, this is not going to be good. And then
I think when the fight started, and I was like, oh, Vachetos is big, dude. He's a big guy. Like, compared to Josh Emmett, he just looked like a totally different weight class, dude, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, but yeah, the over 3.5 burned me. Jillian Robertson by sub. I had a little cycle bet going, and man, there are moments late in the fight. I was hoping that Jillian Robertson would try to go for a submission, but yeah, those 2 particular bets ended up really crushing my night. What could have been a really good night.
Yeah, I feel you. Let's get in the chat real quick, D Rose, and we'll recap this past weekend and get into the show. We got Austin in here with Booyakasha, and happy Wednesday to the boys. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you are doing well, Austin. Thanks for stopping by tonight, my guy. We got Antoine here. Yo, what's up, boys? Stuck in the bed with a heartburn, so y'all are coming in clutch. Well, you know what, Antoine? Hopefully you can eat you some Tums and your tummy will feel better. Maybe get you some Pepto in there. Do what you need to do.
Nah, dude, Pepto. You gotta get some ginger ale. You know how that is. Yeah, ginger ale crackers, and you'll be bouncing back in no time.
Yeah. Would y'all fly to London, all expenses paid, together for a week? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'd have to find some food because I don't know how good I'd be doing eating the beans and toast out there. Spurs crack 50. That's the plan.
So I actually talked to an old classmate of ours the other day, and he actually does travel work, and he said that his travel, he was out in England, and there was a couple of people that was out there with him, and he said the co-workers that he had loved going to like the traditional British style breakfasts and like getting the beans and toast and stuff, and he was like, yeah, I'm going like the furthest away, because I guess they had like a bunch of different varieties, and but yeah, he said no, in his opinion, the British breakfast was the worst, but said the people that he worked with, apparently they loved it. So
I'm
hey,
convinced.
you like it, I love it.
I'm convinced I could move to England and become like a fucking 5-star chef there, dude. Because I just see what they're eating. I'm like, dude, what? Like that? That looks terrible. It look like every experience that I've heard, everyone's like the food's gross. So I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. But it is what it is. D-Rose, what were we just talking about? So I never asked you guys who watch MLB. Antoine, I don't know if you paid me to go to an MLB game. I don't know if I could last the whole game there, man. I'd probably leave. Their food and they're questionable as fuck, man. Be nice, Sugar Ray.
I was gonna say their teeth are questionable because of their food.
Yeah, maybe.
There's a correlation there between food and teeth.
Maybe, dude. Maybe. Anyway, let's get into this show before we start offending some more people. Anyway, UFC Vegas 114 recap. Let me share my screen. Well, it'd be cool to share my screen before I, let's see. There we go. So this past weekend, UFC Vegas 114, we started off with Pierre Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes. Dude, yeah, it is what it is. Pierre Rodriguez wins via decision, busted a bunch of my bets off the start of the night, which is fair. I'm glad it happened early, which that way I don't get my hopes up throughout the night. Anyway, Hector Souza defeats Luan Lacerda via decision. I probably thought he should have knocked him out at some point, but nope. Luan Lacerda showed some toughness, last all the way to decision. Bia Mesquita over Montserrat Raton went exactly how I thought it would go, which is the way every single one of you thought that it should have went as well. Anyway, Brad Tavares versus Eric Anders. Eric Anders wins via decision. Yeah, I don't know, dude, but if I have to be honest, I was watching the fight, dude, but I was like zoning out. I'm like, can this be over, please? And I was trying to watch it because it was in the Pig Champ, dude, but I was just like, I don't really care who should have won that fight, man. That shit was ass. It is what it is. Blagioki, Manelo Souza, man, this upsets me because I had Manelo Souza or Manel. I don't know how to say this guy's first name. I had Souza to win via decision, dude, and he wins like basically at the end of the fight. So, burned my decision parlay there, and he was the only one that didn't cash there. Elijah Smith.
That knockout was nasty, though. The way that he ended up holding his hand down and just like, punched over top of it. Yeah, so the dude, he's nasty. Blagioki, that actually ended up being a really fun fight. So, yeah, that was a hell of a scrap between the two, but nasty knockout from Souza.
Yeah, Elijah Smith submits jiu-jitsu. We could have used the Elijah Smith knockout, but I'm just glad Elijah Smith got it done and proved that jiu-jitsu is kind of a fraud, dude. These dudes are not winning any fight outside of fighting other road to UFC fights without a select few of them, like Renya Nakamura, if you like that. But these other dudes, just no faith at all. Vitor Petrino, Stephen Asplin, dude, that was a fun.
Hey, Elijah Smith, real quick, I will say, holding it down for the car salesman out here, putting in work out here. And hey, that first round was actually a little bit tough for him. He faced a little bit of adversity. Su Young Yu was putting a little bit of pressure on him. So I like that. Elijah Smith kind of faced a little bit of adversity early on, was still able to land a big shot. Hurt Su Young Yu and ended up getting the finish. Elijah Smith, he's starting to complete himself as a young fighter. And hey, you got a fan in me, especially with the car sales side.
That's fair. Vitor Petrino, Steve Asplin, dude. Man, that was a fun fight. I actually tweeted. I don't usually tweet. I tweeted, man, I love heavyweight UFC during this fight. Just a fun fight. But it wasn't because Vitor Petrino, because his ass kept turning around and running away, dude. You don't know how bad I wanted fucking Steven Asplin to just land that knockout shot, man. But Vitor Petrino wins via decision. Anything there?
Yeah. No, to me, and I know we'll talk about a fight coming up, but man, that to me that was probably a fight of the night. For me, Asplin, he's starting to get this. For me, anyway, he's kind of getting like a little bit of like a cult character type, where he's a super fun fighter. For me, just as far as heavyweight goes, and he's willing to go out there and go for it. Super tough dude. And him kind of doing the little, he rocks Petrino. Petrino's, wobbling everywhere in the first round. Then he does a fake moon to him. He's faking like he's mooning him in his face and stuff like that. And hey, dude, but Petrino, I'll give him credit, dude. Stood in there and got rocked, multiple times. And I've accused Petrino of being a quitter and having bad gas. And there in the third round, where I thought he was losing that round early on, he bit down on the mouthpiece and damaged up Asplin real bad there at the end of the fight. And so I can see how they gave it to Petrino, but really fun fight overall.
Yeah, man. For sure, fun fight. I enjoyed it. I love heavyweight UFC. Fun fight. I don't know if that tells me that he doesn't gas, because, dude, he was like, I feel like the fight was 15 minutes. A solid 4 minutes of the fight, he was walking away with his back turned. Like, it's like, come on. Like, that's irritating to me. Like, come on, man. Stop doing that. But it is what it is. That's Vitor Petrino. That's what he does. And we'll talk about someone this weekend that likes to do dumb shit like that as well. Anyway, Chris Curtis, Make the Big Orbai, dude. I was outside watching this fight through the blinds in my apartment, dude. And every time I looked in, it was Make the Big Orbai with, like, had Chris Curtis's back with one of his legs, like, entangled with his leg, and was just punching him, dude. Did anything else happen in the fight besides that?
Yeah, that was about it. And I'm not gonna lie,
dude. Every time I looked in, I was like, is this what's happening the whole fight?
yeah. I stopped watching this fight halfway through the second round because I was like, yeah, this is pretty much what it's going to be. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so that was the main event of the prelims. Going on down, we had Charles Energy Johnson losing me the pick champ, dude. Close fight, I guess. One of the judges had Bruno Silva. I knew it was going to be a close fight, dude. I didn't really care either way when it came down to it. What did you think at the end of the fight, if you weren't biased, I guess?
I mean, honestly, it was, if Bruno Silva had won, I couldn't have been mad. I mean, I thought, for me, I thought the first round was a swing round for the fight. Because I thought, in my personal opinion, it did look like Bruno Silva was winning the first round. But when they showed the strike count, like, I think Charles Johnson had, like, it wasn't like significantly more strikes, but he was landing more strikes than Bruno Silva. But it was just where Charles Johnson, I thought he was kind of playing a lot of defense. But I thought there in the second round, I thought Bruno Silva kind of started finding his shots. Looked like he was hurting Charles Johnson there, to where, for me, I was getting a little bit nervous because I was like, man, Charles Johnson's doing a lot of ducking and, doing a lot of this and that. But I thought the third round, I thought, Charles Johnson had a good bounce back round and was able to secure that third round. So I really thought the swing round was the first round. And again, if they had given it to Bruno Silva, I could not have been upset. But at the end of the day, super close fight. So I couldn't be mad at either one, and I can't call it a robbery.
Yeah, there was a reason it was in the pick champ, dog. Moving on to another one that was in the pick champ, and dude, when I pick Iwan Kutalaba, you guys better recognize, because these are dudes that I don't pick and I don't ever pick. So when I do pick them to actually fucking beat someone, it's just a complete fade on the other end, because I just noticed that they have the skills for some reason that this other fighter that I think is getting all this hype and it's ass, and they have so many holes and are unproven. These are the spots. D-Rose, this was in the Big Champ. Iwan Kutalaba, Umar Sy, dude. I don't even know, like, how it happened, but Iwan Kutalaba has it, Umar Sy, like, in like a front headlock, drops down with the anaconda choke. And, dude, I don't know if I've seen someone tap faster since Cedric Dumas versus Dante Johnson, dude. Like, fucking Dante Johnson didn't even have his hands, like, fucking locked up yet, and Cedric Dumas was already fucking tapping,
Juliana
dude.
Pena, Amanda Nunes is the one that always comes to my mind. Because as soon as Amanda Nunes hit the ground, and Juliana Pena didn't even have any type of grips or anything, she just put in a choke, and Amanda was like, "Okay, we'll give each other in the rematch." So that's
dude, just tapped so quick, like wasn't even all the way on top yet, man. Umar Sy is just one of these French fighters to me that isn't that good of a fighter. Very few good French fighters. Yeah, man. Iwan Kutalaba, I guess this is what I consider to be a complete fraud check, man, because Iwan Kutalaba by no means is a top fighter. You know, this is like a guy that you should be beaten to be in the UFC. You lose to Iwan, you gotta go.
Well, especially Iwan at this stage too, and you know, and you know, it would be different if it was, you know, even Iwan Kutalaba 2019 or whatever. You know, he was, you know, he wasn't that great, but he was still making a little bit of noise then, because he even had he had a win over Khalil Roundtree, and you know, he fought Magomed Ankalaev tough for the first 30 seconds or whatever at that fight. But yeah, old Iwan Kutalaba now, yeah, Umar Sy, yeah, it's. You know, I hate to be the one to say that, you know, cutting somebody or anything like that, because light heavyweight's a little thin. But yeah, if Umar Sy is going to be losing like that, I don't know how much longer he's going to be around, to be honest.
Yeah, Iwan was good when he was painting himself green and fucking screaming at people. Now he's not doing that.
Yes, exactly. And
you're like
of annoyingness.
Like you're like good, maybe a strong word as well. That's when he was the best Iwan that Iwan could be.
That was when he was the most annoying too. That was when he was the most annoying as well. To be fair.
That's fair, man. Moving on up, Marwan Rahiki, Harry Hardwick, dude. I don't think it's possible to knock out Harry Hardwick to the head. Like I don't think it's possible, dude, because Marwan Rahiki was beating the shit out of Harry Hardwick, dude. Shout out Harry Hardwick. You know, first two fights in the UFC, getting leg kicked, TKO'd, and wheeled out on a wheelchair. And then second fight, just getting his fucking jaw broken by maybe a head kick, maybe a hook. But in between round 2 and 3, he was just like, my jaw, my jaw, I hang up. And then, like, all these people were in the octagon, and I was like, what's happening? And then they said, that's it. They're going to call a fight, which made me super happy because I had Marwan Rahiki via TKO. And to be honest, after the second round, I was like, fuck, dude, this bet's fucked, man. Like, he is hitting him with air. Dude, he could be having a baseball bat in there, dude, and it wouldn't fucking matter. That dude's still going to be just walking forward, just trying to throw at you, dude. And thankfully, they called it in between rounds, dude. But how tough is Harry Hardwick? He's just basically Chris Moutinho at fucking 145 at this point, though.
Yeah. He went from Larry leg kick to Harry Hardhead in a matter of 2 fights. Like, dude, absolutely crazy.
I guess fucking next one's Barry broken arm. Who's gonna break his arm fucking next time, dog?
Seriously, like this dude is under some sort of duress in each fight, like major duress too. Like, and I swear, like I just think about the meme whenever I hear Harry Hardwick, and I'm just like, no, nobody, nothing. It's the nobody, absolutely nothing. Me laughing at Harry Hardwick rolling on the ground after getting leg kicked. Like, dude, I swear that is me every single time I hear Harry Hardwick's name. But dude, as you said, shout out to Harry Hardwick. This dude This dude has taken the hellacious ass whooping in 2 fights. Like,
in different weight classes, dude. In 2 different weight classes.
Yeah. Well, and I look, this fight was so fun, dude. I mean, there were moments where he was putting it on Rahiki too. So yeah, Harry Hardwick, he was definitely putting it on Rahiki at certain moments, but because there was a couple of times where Rahiki does not care about defense that much at all, because he goes in there and he goes for the kill, but dude, he leaves himself open so much, and he gets
fucking same for the Contender Series fight too. Though.
Yes,
he almost died
in the Contender Series. 2 separate occasions, the fight could have gotten stopped, and he couldn't have been mad about it, because that's how much of a whooping Rahiki ended up taking just because he didn't care about getting hit. So that is one thing that he does have to clean up in his game, but dude, Rahiki is he's a super fun fighter, super clean with his striking when he lets loose. Definitely willing to go for it, and so is Harry Hardwick. And yeah, honestly, did you see the video of his jaw after the fight? Like when he was in the, he was like, "God, my jaw," and then you look inside his jaw, and it's like Robert Whittaker type caved in. Yeah. That junk is crazy. So yeah. Shout out Harry Hardwick, and shout out Rahiki. That was definitely fight of the night because they were scrapping. But shout out to Asplin and Petrino for runner up for fight of the night too.
Yeah. Moving on up, Andre Fili, Jose Delgado. Jose Delgado wins via decision. I think that truly could have gone either way as well, man. Close fight, anything there?
Yeah, good fight. I mean, and to be fair, like, dude, Jose Delgado, like, a lot of people were criticizing him for like having like an okay performance against Andre Fili, but dude, he has 3 fights in his UFC career, or 4 fights in his UFC career at this point, and he's already fought Nathaniel Wood, who has 15, 20 fights in the UFC probably, and Fili, who has probably over 20 at this point. Like, dude, he's fought some veterans within the first 5 fights of his career. Some tough fights, and I think it's a good experience for him to move forward with. I thought it was a close fight. I thought the 3rd round was a swing round, but I thought the 3rd round was what got it done for Delgado.
Same, man. That was like one of the only bets that I cashed was Jose Delgado in this 1 4-leg parlay that I had. Anyway, Julian Robertson, Amanda Lemos. If I have to be honest, I don't even remember what happened there. Was it even a close fight?
It was. Amanda Lemos basically first round kind of made it a little bit hard for Julian Robertson to go down to the ground.
That's what I just remember. It was just
we were up on the feet at the end of the first round too.
We just remember it. This is why I picked Amanda Lemos right here. This is why I picked Amanda Lemos, just because Julian Robertson had, dude, on the feet, she just looks lost, dude. She's just trying to grab a hold of you. She's just trying to grab a hold, dude. Dude, I don't want to say it's Aaron Blanchfield. Like, fucking, it's not as bad as Aaron Blanchfield.
It's worse.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. Dude, at least man. Aaron throws. Like, Julian Robertson doesn't even throw. Like, did she land 1 punch on the feet? Like, I don't even think she landed 1 punch. Like, I will give Aaron Blanchfield credit. Like, she actually throws kicks. It might not be the most
total
power,
strikes.
But
64 of 81.
I would love to see.
Wait, no, significant strikes, 12 of 26. So that's on the feet at distance. 12 strikes.
I would love to see the number between standing strikes and ground strikes. I don't know where we could find that differentiation at, but I would love to see the difference because I don't think Julian Robertson landed 1 strike on the feet. That's not, like, no joke. I don't think she landed 1. And the only thing that you can include that wasn't with them engaged, like she was throwing the knees to the thighs against the fence. Other than that, when they were separated and at distance, not 1 strike was landed from Julian Robertson. Like, I can almost guarantee you that. It was crazy. It is ultimately why I picked Julian Robertson, because that is always a tough matchup for Lemos. That, you know, that first round she has enough gas, but if she doesn't get the finish early on, the grapplers tend to kind of drown her out after a while. And yeah, I thought it was a good matchup for Robertson, but yeah, I don't know if Robertson is going to be. I know she was calling for a title shot. She's not going to get a title fight after this, and I don't know if anybody up in the top 5. I just don't know if I like her chances that much, except for maybe like a Loopy or somebody.
Yeah, main event ended in the first round. Kevin Vallejos came out here, Dude, I think I knew it was not going to last when I saw them, like, I guess the first interchange when I was like, oh, Vallejos just looks thicker than Josh Emmett, like almost a weight class up. And then he like landed his first punch and like fucking wobbled Josh Emmett. I was like, oh, this is not going over 3.5, which is what I had bet. I know you did as well. I thought Josh Emmett was tough, dude. Went to decision with Ilya, but that was a few years ago as well. And he shaved the beard, which I thought maybe gave him a little bit of protection there. I don't know, man. Kevin Vallejos wins first round knockout, 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Any thoughts on the main event, man?
He didn't have the beard against Ilya. I think he's just getting a little old man withered at this point. He's just getting clubbed up a little bit more, and Vallejos just honestly, it was just a good matchup, man. And Josh Emmett tried to do the thing where he tried to do kind of like the TJ Dillashaw kind of switch stance as he's stepping in, and tried to change something up a little bit, but Vallejos saw it coming from a mile away. And I love me some Josh Emmett. I love Josh Emmett. I've always loved watching him fight, but the dude has just never developed any sort of jab, and that has been his ultimate downfall. And in bigger fights, is that the guys who can kind of cleanly box have always given him a little bit of a problem. And Vallejos, even though he beat Calvin Kattar's jab was giving him a problem in that fight, and this fight as well, or Ilya and now Vallejos, better boxers and better counter boxers have been able to kind of eat him up a little bit because Emmett just hadn't evolved his game, and Vallejos landed them power shots. At first, I thought Emmett was defending well, but once Vallejos got him back up against the fence, Vallejos is nasty with throwing elbows and knees. Like when he has a guy hurt, like he doesn't like this like overthrow with punches. Like he immediately goes with the elbows. Like look what he did to Giga. As soon as he got Giga down and knocked him down, he immediately started throwing them elbows. Kevin Vallejos has a very good finishing instinct, and I think that's something that could take him a long way.
Yeah, man, he's gonna be a problem for this rest of the division, and he's still really, really young too.
Yeah, and the good thing about him too is that so after the fight, they were asking him, "Hey, who do you want to fight?" He's saying, he's up to fighting anybody, but honestly, he's not too concerned about trying to get too leveled up at the top of the division right now, because really he's just concerned with getting better because he knows he's young and he has time. And someone asked him about the John Silva fight, if he'd take that, and he said, of course he'd want that fight, but he said ideal situation would be if one is a champ and the other is to fight, so that way they can earn money for a title fight. I thought that was kind of like good perspective for a 23-year-old as well.
Yeah, same. All right, let's see what the chat thinks about the fights this weekend, or from this past weekend. What other place in Europe have y'all been curious about? Antoine, if I have to be honest, man, I don't know if I want to go to Europe. Not too much air conditioning there. And I'm a fan of cool places, dude. I don't really like the heat too much. So I don't know how much I'm going to be visiting Europe. Anyway, that was a good one for Souza. Elijah cooked Phoenix Priestess parlay. Sorry to hear that, man. I think Elijah going to be top 10 next year. It's possible, Antoine. That one shocked me when Bobby Knuckles tapped so quick when he saw, his jaw was broken. Did you see Kutalapa speaking English? What do you mean? Doesn't he always speak English?
I mean, I haven't really seen him speak too much English. You could tell that, his English with Bisping the other day was definitely a little, obviously it's not his natural language, but
yeah.
He spoke a little more the other day than what I've ever remembered him speaking.
I mean, but to be fair, it's not like I care what he's saying.
That's really the point.
Yeah, Harry Hardwick has a very weird style. His hands were down the whole time. Probably trying to block those leg kicks. Anyway, it's great to see the Hardwick brothers going through adversity after being champions in Cage Warriors. That's why I can't look at Cage Warriors too much, man. Does this confirm Cage Warriors isn't a legitimate feeder promotion? I think it is, but it just means that not everyone is UFC level, man. Like we've seen it from everywhere, though. Do you guys think Julian fights McKenzie? Nah, I don't think so. I think Antoine and I think D-Rose agrees. All right, so that was y'all's comments, which leads us into the Wheel of Doom. Unfortunately, but this past weekend we had 3 or 4 different picks. D-Rose, which one was it?
Eric Anders, which that was the backup.
Oh yeah, it was the backup. Yeah, okay. So we had 4 different picks.
Bruno Silva.
I got you. Okay. I got you. We had 4 different picks. Brad Tavares versus Eric Anders, which was the backup. We had Bruno Silva versus Charles Energy Johnson, Iwan Cutelaba versus Umar C, and Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson, in which I had Bruno Silva, Iwan Cutelaba, and Amanda Lemos. D. Rose had Charles Energy Johnson, Umar C, and Jillian Robertson, which he wins. Charles Energy Johnson and Jillian Robertson, 2 out of the 3. Could have been a clean sweep, D. Rose, if you would have threw in Eric Anders, right? Like, you would have got me back already, dude. But yeah, D. Rose wins 2 of the 3, which makes D. Rose and new this week pick champ. Yeah, let me get the wheel pulled up here, because that's the one thing I didn't have pulled up here was the wheel.
And no, Antoine, Matt has tried the fire beans. It's just that they were nasty, but they weren't the spiciest, or maybe.
Yeah, I got the least spicy of the bean. All right, so yeah. Share this tab instead, and then, man, I don't want to do this, but that's what I get. So inside this here bag, we have super sours and fiery 5 beans. Let's see which one I get. God damn it. I guess I should put on the bean bop for you, huh, Rose? That's your favorite thing. Wait, do I do the rock one while I'm spinning the?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We got the anticipation of the spin.
While I'm gonna spin for fire or sours, because I don't know how to pick fight. Will it be fire or will it be sour? Either way, neither is good. But if I had a preference, maybe like the jalapeno
fire or sour. We don't know.
Maybe like the jalapeno.
It's sour.
Oh, come on. There we go. Give me like the jalapeno. Fire again, dog. Fire again.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually wanted you to get the sour this time.
Well, that's what happens. All right. So now that is decided, let's spin the wheel for the flavor. Oh, goodness gracious. Sriracha again, dog? That's the one I got last time. It is what it is, dog. The wheel has spoken. The wheel has spoken. All right, so the sriracha bean, which is the least bad one, which I'm all right with, man. Kind of tastes like those jalapeno chips, if I'm going to be honest. Or it might actually taste just like sriracha. But there we go. Let me put on the bean bop for you.
You suck. Yeah.
Dude, look how close of a difference this could be. Like the earth. Let me pull it up.
It's the bean bop.
Dude, this looks like it's the difference between Carolina Reaper and the fucking sriracha. Oh, scary. What if I accidentally ate the wrong one?
And it don't
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I was like, you're not going to. You're going to make sure you got it.
There you go. You already were predetermined, ready for the bean bop.
Hey.
I can do it. You got it. Here we go. The sriracha bean.
And it don't stop. And the beans, they stay hot. With the bean bop.
It's still not great though. I have to be honest, because it's like I don't want a hot candy, you know?
No, but the whole point is we need a little more kick. We need a little more kick, or maybe Dave is on to something. I know he might not be in here tonight, but maybe have the choice between the old beans and the sour.
You just don't want to eat the hot beans. That's what it is. I think you're trying to get out of eating the hot beans. That's what I think it is. Because you haven't ate them yet. I think you're trying to get out of eating them.
I mean, if you're taking it like a champ, I mean, it doesn't really seem
dude,
like
that's the least.
bad.
That's the least hot bean of all of them, and it's still not. It's like, it's still like it's got heat to it. It's got heat to it, but it's mostly just tastes bad. That one just, it's like I don't like that.
I mean, it's gross, I'm sure, but
yeah. Well, that's done. Sorry, you guys. Not a great one this week, but you know, it's all right. D-Rose is going to be eating the Carolina Reaper bean next week.
We're coming back for another day.
I'm saying it now. D-Rose is eating the Carolina Reaper bean next week. I'm calling it right now. That fire right there is going to be what D-Rose is going to be feeling next week. Right there, the fire. Let's see what you got. There we go. Anyway, Antoine wanted the fire. There you go. You got the fire. It wasn't the hottest one. It was the least hot one out of the entire bag. But looks like Matt survived. Yeah, it ain't too crazy. Matt be building immunity. It was sriracha flavored. It was sriracha flavored. Do you like spicy food in general? I'm not really a big spicy food guy. Like I can handle a little bit of heat, but fucking D-Rose over here is fucking sucking on hot sauce bottles and shit. Like, can y'all believe that I went to D-Rose's house one day, like, and he was like, "Yo, have you ever tried fucking Dustin Poirier's new hot sauce?" Took the lid off, wrapped his lips around it, and was just like. And sucked it. Just drank a whole bottle of hot sauce like that. The fucking D-Rose just deep throating hot sauce bottles over here. Just getting all the last drops out of them. That's how much he likes spicy food. I got to get another drink, D-Rose.
And it was the extra spicy hot sauce too.
The KO.
The KO edition. And that one, I don't know if you guys have tried the KO edition for Dustin Poirier, his hot sauce. It's definitely got some kick
mouth
to
is
it,
hot though.
Yeah, it's got some kick to it, but it's definitely delicious.
Yeah. Not my favorite thing though, Antoine. Nah, it's been good. I'm glad it didn't burn. Yeah, that's the least spicy one. I ain't mad. How much would they have to pay you to actually eat a real Carolina Reaper? I don't know, Antoine. Hopefully that bean ain't that hot. What's your favorite restaurant for spicy food? I would guess like Thai food is probably my go-to if I want something spicy. I'll get Thai food. What about you, D-Rose?
I mean, you can like some sort of like Mexican type food too. Honestly, I would say I actually had Panda last night, and they had this it was like a spicy sweet and sour chicken, and that was actually I told Amber, I was like, hey, this thing's got a little kick to it. She was like, does it? And I was like, yeah. I was like, if I tell you something's like, it's spicy, I was like, it's spicy, but it's pretty good. So I would say maybe even like some type of like Japanese, Chinese type food.
Gotcha. All right. Well, there you go. Anyway, I like putting jalapenos on my sandwich for a spicy crunch. Well, that's nice, Antoine. Hopefully you enjoy that. Anyway, we are going to get to the UFC news and fight announcements. So here we go. We got something new here. What is this? Shara Bullet versus Michelle Pereira, June 27th. What's your thoughts on that, D-Rose? Is that real? You think that's going to happen?
I mean, that fight kind of makes sense if you think about it. Just in terms of kind of where both guys are. I mean, I don't know. Michel Pereira, I can't imagine he's ranked at this point. I know when he went through his win streak, he was ranked. But yeah, I can't imagine he's ranked anymore. Shara, not really title chasing. I think just looking for fun fights. I can see it happening.
What about this? Ikram Alaskarov, Bruno Ferreira.
I don't believe that because to me, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, Bruno Ferreira just literally got put out cold. 2 weeks ago on short notice?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him turning around in 3 months just to appease, I guess it's going to be the Saudi group or whatever.
Yeah, Baku. That's in Azerbaijan. All right, let's see. Let's see what Big Marcel's got for us today. Shout out Big Marcel. Anyway, we have. Oh, I guess there it is. That's true. That's true. We just talked about it. Anyway, Philip. I don't know who those guys are. We have Gilessa Chavez taking on Yanesi Dubin. You excited for this one, D-Rose?
I certainly am not.
Okay. All right, moving on to the next one. We have Modestas Bukauskas taking on Adolfo Bellato. Dude, they got the same face, no?
I swear to God, I was just about to say, do they not look just alike?
Dude, their nose is crooked in the opposite way. It's like mirrored.
Yeah, I would say that, the doors on Bellato's car doors, his car doors are a little more open than Modestas Bukauskas. But other than that, yeah, no, they very similar structures to the face.
His car doors. You're talking about his ears. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Bruno Silva taking on Edgar Chairez after fighting this past weekend. Already fighting June 6th, dude. Thoughts on this one against Edgar Chairez?
Looks like Bruno Silva, man, he's trying to get a dub. And it looks like he was probably pretty salty about what happened this past weekend.
My mouth is hot, dog.
Yeah.
I fucking let that one fucking sit in there a little long.
Yeah, got a little comfortable with it.
It's in my teeth.
But I'll say, this is a matchup that I think Bruno Silva, he looked good against Charles Johnson, and I think this is a matchup that he might be the underdog in, but might be willing to throw some money on the dog on that one because I think he can match up pretty well against Edgar Chairez, who is fun. He goes for subs and stuff, but he is very hittable as you saw in his last fight. So I think that's a good matchup.
We'll see what happens there. We got your favorite fighter returning quick in May, dearest. Returning quick in May.
He's got to be at this point. Brundage has got to just be fighting out the rest of his UFC contract, right? I think he's just trying to speed run through the rest of his contract so he can get cut. That's the only thing that makes sense. That would imagine that he would have already been cut. But I gotta imagine he's just like, you know what? Fuck it. I got 4 fights left in my contract. Let's knock him out this year and get out of here. That's the only thing I can think.
Dude, you know me well enough, right? Is there 2 fighters you think that I think less of in the UFC? Dude, Cody Brundage and Andre Petrosky, dude.
It's bad enough when they're fighting on the same card, but now they're fighting each other.
God, dog. This is what we're doing. Shit, son. And the worst part is, after this ends in a fucking barn snoozer for us, putting the cows to sleep, they ain't going to cut either one of them, dude. They're both going to still be in the UFC, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, Brundage has got to be coming up on the end of his contract.
Dude, they had to be making $500. If UFC is like, we'll keep you around. We're going to pay you $500 there. They're like, deal. I get to be on TV and $500. That's their thought process at this point, dude. What are we doing here?
It's absolutely crazy, man. I don't quite understand.
Yeah. I don't know if Sherritt has ever been ranked. I don't think he has, Antoine. Bruno coming back way too early. They should also do that. Kevin, I don't. Is that why they also? I don't know. Like I know, like a lot of shit that he puts out isn't real. I guess he is, or like he might actually hear it sometimes, but he just fucking puts out shit sometimes too. Seems to be the theme of the year. Getting Chin, making a quick turnaround. Here we go. Antoine is a fan of Yanesi Dubin. Car doors. You think Cody will come out and be competitive in this one? Antoine, you had a coin on you. Let's see here. Heads, yes. Heads, yes. Tails, no. Will Cody Brundage come out and be competitive in this fight? Shit. I dropped a coin, and there's your answer. No one fucking knows. Brundage, like Frankie with this fans, it was some money at this point. Maybe, dude. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, maybe Cody Brundage is somebody who he's just trying to fight because he's got a ransom to pay somebody. Like, I mean, who knows, dude? Like at this point, this is his third fight this year, and it's not even like I'm right. Like
it was heads, by the way. Year in May. It was heads, but being competitive against Andre Petrovsky isn't saying a whole lot. So,
yeah, I think we talked about the fight more than I wanted.
Yeah, dude, that's your guy, man. That's your guy.
For two people who don't care about this fight, we've certainly talked a lot about this fight.
We got Janata Jadis taking on Jose Luis. Don't know who Jose Luis is. Thoughts on that one? UFC debut.
And he's got old school UFC shorts on, so yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I guess.
All right. We have Thiago Moises. Hadn't seen him in a little bit. Taking on Gage Young in Canada. April 18th. Do you care about that one at
all? Solid fight. I don't know if that's a super crazy fight, but I mean it's a pretty solid fight. Thiago Moises is, he can kind of throw down, and we know he's good with submissions as well, so could be a fun little scrap.
That's fair, man. We have Cody Steele taking on Dom Marv fan, dude. I struggle with that name so much. I think he was on the Contender Series, right? Street Buddha. He didn't seem too good to me, though. So I'm probably going to pick Cody Steele in that fight right there. What's your thoughts here, if any?
I mean, it makes sense. And Cody Steele, he's kind of due for like a bounce back type performance. I think the UFC really liked him coming off the Contender Series, and I know he had that loss of Rong Zhu, but it was a really fun fight, and I think Cody Steele kind of almost just threw every bit of care out the window and just tried to make a fun fight. And I think for somebody like that, the UFC had a lot of respect for him coming into the Contender Series. He's willing to put on a fun little fight. I think the UFC is kind of looking out for him and kind of giving him, I don't want to say an easy matchup, but easier than like the Rong Zhus of the world.
Fucking ready to jump in them doors, huh?
them doors is wide open.
Wide open. Anyway, we got Daniel Bareth taking on Luis Gurule. Thoughts on this one, May 16th?
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I don't care.
Dude, that's your fellow bald brother, man. You don't even care, holding it down for the peeps.
Yeah, bald brothers unite. I mean, we represent the same razors, sure, but as far as everything else, I ain't gotta care about his fights.
All right, we got someone returning. You sent me this earlier, and it was a picture of Steven Asplund versus fucking Tai Tuivasa. However,
you should have posted that one.
Sorry. We got Tai Tuivasa taking on Sean Sharp, dude. Is this a chance Tai Tuivasa gets a win, dude? Somehow still ranked 15th in the UFC heavyweight division after 7-fight losing streak, dude? I don't know how you're ranked on a 7-fight losing streak, but somehow he is. But he might break that losing streak. Dude, he's got a negative record, 8-9.
And
in
the
the
crazy
UFC.
part is, he was one fight away from fighting John Jones for a UFC heavyweight title. He was
Dude.
one. Just think about that, dude. Tai Tuivasa was one fight away. Well, honestly, you can make the argument one punch away in that Cyril Gane fight, because if he knocks out Cyril Gane in that fight, dude, he is fighting John Jones for the heavyweight title. Like, just let that sink in for a little bit. And now, fast forward 3 years later, and
I don't think he's
on a
fucking
7-fight losing streak, and on the verge of
he
getting cut at
hasn't
this point.
he hasn't won since before that fight.
Yeah, it's been that fight since. Correct.
The body kick changed him.
Yeah, I mean, it was really that fight. I mean, honestly, the consistent standing punches to the back of the head from Cyril Gane as well was something that I.
The consistent standing punches to the back of the head.
Dude, I mean, how do you continuously throw hammer fists to the
dude,
back of the head of a standing opponent? I'm like, dude, this is crazy. But yeah, and Tai has not won a fight since that point. So yeah, that's
yeah, he has.
He does not, dude.
Against food,
beat Sean, dude,
he's gonna win against food.
Dude, if you did not beat Sean Sheriff at this point, dude, I mean, what could the UFC do? Like, I mean, they could not have given you an easier matchup in your home, in your home country. This is your opportunity, Tai. Get the damn job done.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. Antoine, there's no way they keep ties. Dude, Antoine, he's on 7 straight losses, dog. I saw Tai the other year in the street, and his gut got to me before he did. Do you think heavyweight will have a resurgence at all? It's tough, Antoine. We got ranked Tai Tuivasa, but if we have fights like we had this past weekend between Steven Aspin and Vitor Petrino, I have hope. I have hope, man.
We're just we're just kind of waiting for like Gable Stevenson to get like 2 or 3 more fights and come over into the UFC too. So we see guys like that start coming over, and I think you'll start seeing a little bit more of a surge.
Yeah. We got Jacob Malkoon and Gerald, GM3 Mearshart. This is in Perth as well, dude. Dude, GM3, when is he going to retire, man? Like, at this point, like, dude. I mean, not the worst fight for him, because fucking Jacob has basically no danger factor in the hands, really. So it's like, I don't think he's going to get like knocked out, but still, it's like, dude, you need to stop getting in there, brother.
I mean, I would imagine that after his last few performances, he kind of wants to go in there and basically say, hey, he wants to give a better, honest effort. If there is a matchup to where he could go in there and potentially not get hurt too bad, it would be against Jacob Malkoon. Now Jacob Malkoon, as you see it, for his UFC record, he's not the best in the world, and I do think that he doesn't possess much power in his hands, so it could potentially be a matchup that GM3 could win. But if he, kind of saying what Tai is GM3. GM3 can't get it done against, Jacob Malkoon, and also being on a pretty big losing streak for himself as well. I just don't know how much more he has left to give to the game.
Yeah. For me, I'd have to go light-skinned Curtis Blades, Australian Curtis Blades in that fight, though. Moving on to the next one. Cam Ralston, Robert Brzczek, dude, should be a fun one. The Battle Giraffe taking on someone, some Polish power that he's got in the socks. You don't forget it in the hotel room. Should be a fun fight. Also going to be in Perth, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a banger of a fight. I mean, I think that's a kind of served up for Cam Ralston to get the job done. But Robert
just so
Brzczek
big.
is yeah. But Robert Brzczek, he's no slouch either. He's tough, and he's a pretty decent striker himself. So I think that's a potentially fun fight.
Yeah, we got dude. They're putting Junior Tafa steal
How
steal against a some dude. They got the same body. Junior Tafa might win this one, dog. Who's Kevin Christian from
I mean,
Brazil?
dude,
This dude is flying from Brazil to Perth, Australia, dude. That's like a 26-hour trip. If he's not there early, dude, I might pick Junior Tafa to win this fight, dog.
Who did Junior Tafa? It was Billy Elicana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where yeah, and to be fair, and I said it, then going into that fight, I picked Billy Elicana because I thought Elicana was pretty tough, but I said, hey, I'm not the most confident because Tafa can still land that one punch power and put him out, and he almost put out Billy Elicana, early on in that fight.
He kissed his own toes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he was kissing knees then. I mean, it was he was hurt bad. So yeah, Tafa's got the power, and I don't know, Kevin Christian's the best. He got clubbed in his UFC debut as well. So yeah, maybe this could be a fight that Tafa can finally get it done.
Dude, he's 2-5 in the UFC. They've given him 7. Dude, they gave him another contract after going like what, 1-4, 1-3.
I mean, he took it.
Ain't nobody asking to see Junior Tafa. Oh, we got a banger here, dude. We have fucking Castaway versus fucking Michael Scott from The Office, dog. What are we doing here? Why does he look like that? Cut that shit, dog.
Which one?
You know who I'm talking. Dude, cut that shit. Dude, like, clean it up, brush it, do something with that shit, dog. But nope, Tim Elliott just gonna go out there, act like a fucking idiot the whole damn fight, and somehow win. I don't know how, because I don't know anything that he does remotely good in said fights. He just goes out there and fucks around and somehow wins. I'm going to be picking Steve Erceg here, but I'll probably be wrong because I'm always wrong in Tim Elliott fights. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, I mean, and for Steve Erceg, he's one who, he fought for the title, and he's won 8 fights since then, right? But he went on a 3-fight losing streak. Yeah, and now I'm trying to remember. It was O'Day Osborne, and O'Day Osborne even hurt him in multiple moments in that fight. So Steve Erceg, I would say, since that Pantoja loss, has not been the greatest. So I mean, for me, I know Tim Elliott's your guy, but yeah, I mean, Tim Elliott's live, in my opinion.
God, I hate him fighting, dude. I just want to throw my shoe at the TV every time he fights. Like, knock his ass out, please. Like, that's how I feel every time Tim Elliott fights. Well, like, god damn it. Anyway, that's from this past weekend. Oh, we've got a fun one here. We've got Alice Ardell-Yan taking on Polyana Viana. I haven't seen Polyana Viana in a little bit, but also, whenever she's been here, kind of looking like ass. But, I mean, she looks nice, but that's about all she's got going for her, to be honest.
Yeah, when you said we had a fun one here, I was kind of scratching my head because I was like, is there another fight you're looking at that I wasn't looking at? Because I didn't, with these.
Is fun in the room with us?
Yeah. It's fun in your pocket over there. You got fun in your pocket? Because it definitely ain't this fight.
Antoine, I agree. But yeah, outside of that, I think that's about all she's got going for her, brother. We got one that shows her butthole online, and the other one that just looks nice. Anyway, moving on to the next one, we've got Alex Perez taking on Sumu Darji, dude. This should be a fun one. This is going to be taking place in Macau, China. So Alex Perez probably going to lose this one because he alternates wins and losses. Just not knocked out Charles Johnson, so probably going to lose to Sumu Darji now. Yeah. In China?
Yeah, and he'll probably get smoked by Sumu too, or like he'll have like some weird injury in the fight and fall over, and then Alex Perez will be out for another year, and then he'll come back and knock somebody out again. It just seems to be the rhythm and rhyme of his career. But
he's gonna eat some bad Chinese food.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, assuming Darcy's wanting to try to, get to that next level in this division, though, this is the matchup. I mean, he's shown us, he's kind of been a little bit more calm in his last few fights, and it's kind of played to his style. And Alex Perez, he's tough, but he is hittable and beatable. So I think that's a fun fight and a good matchup for Super Darcy.
That's fair, man. Antoine, and y'all saw Nina Drama was ridiculed after riding around with Armin Saryukin. They're together all the time, though, man. Apparently her husband called her while she was on stream with a two-seater with them. Like, it fucking mattered. Dude, it was probably done for the clips. At this point, man, it's like, man, I don't even care. I don't even care, man. We got Charles Ayer Jourdain taking on Kyler Phillips. Fun striking fight, yeah?
Yeah, fun striking fight, and two guys. I mean, I would say two well-rounded guys. I mean, Charles Jourdain, we know how he is with his chokes, and I saw where he had said that I think it was Nate Diaz who has the most guillotines in UFC history, and that Charles Jourdain said that he had wanted to go for that record for the most guillotine chokes. So, two good strikers, but two well-rounded guys, I would say, and what could be a really fun fight.
Yeah, I agree. And we've got Beneil Dariush, Quillen Salkeld. The last one we're going to talk about before we move into fights for this weekend. Man, they are doing Benny D no favors, huh?
No, none at all. I mean, giving him the, Manuel Torres and, Quinlan Salkeld and these guys who are just, young hitters who, and honestly, I would say this matchup is worse for him than Manuel Torres is. Because I thought Manuel Torres, as long as Benny D doesn't get hit early, he would at least be able to kind of take Manuel Torres late and be able to take him down. We have Quinlan Salkeld, who's, a pretty calm guy who's also a good wrestler. Like, Manuel Torres doesn't really use his wrestling that much. He's just going in there to take your head off. Like, Quinlan Salkeld, we've seen him wrestle in a lot of his fights, and he's looked very well in the wrestling department as well. So, no favors for Benny D here, but I guess that's just what the sport calls for, and this is the cycle that happens.
Yeah, indeed, man, indeed. So, with that being said, we will move on into the fights for this upcoming weekend for our UFC London. Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. Our preview, our prediction, and our picks. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We got Phoenix Priest saying, Beneil said he hates power slap and has been sentenced to death sentence by 1,000. All right. I mean, I don't really like power slap either. It's all right. Anyway.
I mean, who does like power slap, to be honest?
Yeah, I don't know. So if this is your first time here, do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. And if you're watching on mobile, hit the hype button for us. That's a new thing. Hype you boys up over here. So this upcoming weekend, we have UFC London in the O2. We have 14 fights to talk about. Fights are taking place at 1 p.m. East Coast time. So if you're in my time here in Texas, that is 12 noon, 1 p.m. on East Coast time for D Rosa. Said 14 fights, and it is going to be headlined by Movsar Evloev taking on Lerone the Miracle Murphy. Co-main event is Bonnie Blue taking on Michael Aswell Jr. We have Michael Venom Page taking on Sam Patterson. We have Iwo Baranetsky taking on Austin Lane, former NFL player there. We have Roman Dolidze taking on Christian Leroy Duncan. We have Curtis, the Pink Panther Campbell, taking on Danny Silva. We have Mason Jones taking on Axel Sola. We have Nathaniel. I don't think he's the prospect anymore. He changed his name to Lucene Keita. We have Mario Pinto taking on Felipe Franco. We have Antonio Tricali. What are we doing here? Taking on Mantis Condravicius. I believe that's how you say it. We've got Louis Sutherland taking on Brando Pericic. We've got Shamrock taking on Abdul Kareem Al-Sawadi. we have Chanel Dyer. Fun fight on the Contender Series she's going to be taking on Ruvena Oliveira. And our opening fight on the card is going to be No Mess Melissa Mullins taking on Luana Dread Carolina. Fight that did fall off here was Mick Parkin taking on Mario Pinto. So who's fighting Mario Pinto? It is Felipe Franco. So Felipe Franco taking this fight on short notice. He is terrible anyway. So that's where we'll start at. First fight of the night is going to be No Mess Melissa Mullins taking on Luana Carolina. Thoughts on the card as a whole, though, D Rose, before we get started?
I mean, it's a pretty solid card, I'd say, for the most part. It's I would say, top of the card, obviously a banger of a main event. We're hoping anyway we'll decide the next title fight challenger up at 145. Pretty fun fights, couple notable names on the card, a couple of setup spots here for a couple guys, but I think overall it should be a fun day of fights.
Sorry,
I
was getting a little warm over here. Take my hoodie
sorry,
off.
I didn't realize. Sorry, I didn't realize your earphones.
Now my shit ain't.
I
can't even hear you.
Yeah, no, I was getting the card put up on my end, but yeah, no, I think it's a fun card overall. If I had to give it a grade, I would say grade wise, maybe, I'll say it's a B. Grading on the scale of it being a fight night card, and and I would say the main event is doing a lot of that lifting, because I'm honestly really intrigued with the main.
Yeah, the last UFC London card was pretty good. Best one, Tom versus Will Collier. I like the UFC London card, Leon versus Bilal. That's the one I won the most money on. Or I think that wasn't London. That was one of the other ones. What was that?
I mean, that was in London, but that wasn't.
No,
it wasn't a fight night.
It was in England, but it was like not in London. It was like some kind of like somewhere else.
Are you talking about the Bilal and Leon fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was in England too, but
yeah, like it was in England, but not in like London. I forgot. Manchester. That's what Antoine said. UFC 304 is in Manchester. There we go. I knew it was over there. I just knew it wasn't in London. All right, here we go. So first fight of the night going to be Melissa Mullins, Luana Dread Carolina. This starts off my 3-leg parlay that I already have locked in. D Rose, we've got Melissa No Mess Mullins 7-2 overall, Luana Dread Carolina 11-5 overall. Melissa Mullins, the underdog, she is 34 years old, 5'7" and a 68-inch reach, while Luana Dread Carolina is 32 years old, 5'7" and a 69-inch reach. Yeah, man, this is one where Melissa Mullins in her last fight just let me down, dude. She rematched, I think, Dara Zelezniakova, yeah, where she knocked her out 3 years ago. And then this fight, dude, it's like she refused to shoot a takedown at all the entire fight. And then the last round took her down with ease. But it was already too late, man. She had already lost the fight. And, it just is what it is. She's 34 years old, so a little bit older. But she is going to be in her hometown taking on Luana Carolina. That, to be honest, Luana Carolina is what Jocelyn Edwards was when she came in the UFC, dude. That's what Luana Carolina is. Like, she's just in there. She gets taken down. I guess her striking is okay, but she's never improved one single bit. She gets taken down every single time. Spinning back elbowed from fucking Molly McCann, dude. I just think Melissa Mullins goes in here, takes her down with ease, maybe beats her up, maybe wins. Maybe wins via TKO, maybe wins via submission, but in reality, I'm going to play it safe and just say she's on top, just trying to get a win, and we get Melissa Mullins to win via decision. The first leg of my 3-leg parlay this week, Melissa Mullins, moneyline, D Rose, as the underdog. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Jocelyn Edwards, because I was actually going to say that I mixed up Jocelyn Edwards and Luana Carolina for a couple of different times. But my apologies to Jocelyn Edwards because she has put the foot on the gas, especially in the last few fights compared to where Luana Carolina, could have arguably been in one of the more boring fights I'd ever watched. That was decided on the pick champ. It was why I was so mad about the fight, and it was against Ivana Petrovic, where I was just, dude, I remember I was simmering because I was like, dude, this is for the pick champ. And I'm having to sit here and watch this and actually have some sort of stakes placed on this. I was so pissed. And she ended up winning too. And just not great. But Luana Carolina's takedown defense isn't the best in the world. Melissa Mullins has a passive victory here, but the takedowns, let's go Mullins by decision here.
That's fair. Me and you agree both on the dog. Antoine, I have a question here. I understand your statement, but does it count if she's Brazilian? Do you just love dreadlocks, or you love dark-skinned women with dreadlocks? Because that's fair. I just don't. I'm not going to get into it. I don't get it. I don't like to get into that, dog. It don't make no sense to me. Like, dog, you could just have a tan. It is what it is. If you're Dominican, I don't get it. It is what it is. Anyway, I think it's the first UFC London we see with no Molly McCann. Oh, she'll be there in the crowd. They'll put the camera on her. Yeah, dearest.
Yeah, she'll definitely. Okay, come on.
I still personally count.
Can I have a rolling, please?
Oh, that's fair, Antoine. That's fair, dude. But I mean, people are people to me. I don't care what color you are, dog. It don't matter. It matters your person to me, dog. If you're a good person, that's all that matters to me. Anyway, moving on. We got Chanel Dyer taking on Ravina Oliveira. Man, Chanel Dyer, kind of like what I could describe as the female Leon Rocky Edwards. Very clean striking on the feet. But man, does she get hit, dude. She gets hit so much. I think she was in PFL. She actually lost on the Contender Series. Yeah, she was in the PFL, winning via head kick and decision, all that. But dude, in every fight, she's just getting fucking mollywopped, and nothing changed on the Contender Series, dude. She got kind of beat up on the Contender Series, but she came back. She's tough as all hell. She's 24 years old, 5'6", and a 65-inch reach. While Ravina Oliveira is 29 years old, 5'5", and a 65-inch reach as well. Out of her last 5 fights, she has 3 wins and 2 losses. But demo fight is the one that happens inside the mall. That's all before the UFC. She's fought 2 times inside the UFC against Tainara Lisboa, a striker, and Stephanie Luciano, a striker, and lost both times. Stephanie Luciano submitted her, and Ravina Oliveira is the grappler here from Brazil. So not the best look, dude. Chanel Dyer going to win this fight with ease. The question is, does she knock her out? Because she's got excellent striking. Does she win via decision? Or, Ravina Oliveira is not a stranger to getting, like someone else we're going to talk about later on this card as well. This grappler is not a stranger to getting submitted by any means. So, with that being said, man, give me Chanel Dyer. Let me be safe to win this fight via decision. It is MMA. She is the hometown girl. Chanel Dyer via decision for me. Do you remember her fight from the Contender Series?
Yeah. No, I do. Because it was a very bloody fight. Because you don't get many women's fights that are kind of like knockdown, kind of drag out wars, and that was definitely one. And
Anton McKenzie Dern's from Arizona, dog.
Hey, she her parents are still Brazilian. But yeah, I think for Dyer, yeah, she's super tough. I think Oliveira, though, she could present a challenge that Dyer might not be ready for, just in terms of the takedowns or whatnot. But
about how easy the fight's gonna be because she's so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, do I think that the odds are way blown out? Yeah. Would I bet on this fight? No. But dude,
I would just say that Oliveira's best path to victory is by takedown, and we just hadn't seen enough of Dyer yet to know if she's really got a sustained takedown defense game to where she can keep Oliveira off of her. But
Tainara Ravina Oliveira had me thinking Tainara Lisboa was a good grappler.
That is true. But I say all that to say, Dyer by decision.
Dude, I remember after this fight, I was like, dude, Tainara Lisboa is good. And then her next few fights, just getting just mollywopped because she is lost on the ground, dog. Like, just seeing that, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, dog. I don't know. So, like Chanel Dyer be a decision for you?
Yes.
All right, moving on up. We got Shamrock taking on Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. Tough one for me to pick here, to be honest. Shamrock, second fight in the UFC, but overall, he is 12-2-1, coming out of Cage Warriors, I believe. 32 years old, 5'11", 73-inch reach. Has a lot of fans behind him, dude. A lot of people talking about him. So I guess that counts for something. Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi, this will be his, I believe, second fight in the UFC as well. Yeah, he lost to Loic Radzhabov via knockout, which, dude, Loic Radzhabov wins via decision. I don't know how he got knocked out there, but he's 30 years old, 5'8", 69-inch reach, dude. This is a tough one for me to call because I'm not too high on Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi, if we're being honest. And, Shamrock, we saw him lose against Nuro Evloev. That's, Nuro Evloev's a good fighter, but to be fair, Shamrock was putting up a hell of a fight in that fight against the undefeated Nuro Evloev. I believe it was on short notice as well. So just because it's the hometown guy, I believe he might be the dog. I'm not sure. Give me Shamrock to win this fight. I'm leaning between submission and decision because Abdul Karim's only loss inside the UFC was a knockout, but that's not Shamrock. He's a back-taking choke guy. So it's either going to be decision or submit. I mean, I guess he could knock him out, but in my mind, it's submission or decision. I went decision too much. Let's go submission, second round submission, rear naked choke, Shamrock. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I think this one is a complete coin flip. I would say even based on the odds. You can make that argument as well. I know Shamrock has kind of got a little bit more, I guess he was more regarded as kind of like a grappler coming in. And, for him to, to lose the Alia the way he did, just not the greatest sign for him coming in. And I know, Al-Sawadi got knocked out by Radzhabov, and I know, or Radzhabov, and he's mostly a grappler, but I would say, just kind of, I think it was like just a big overhand that he had just landed. Other than that, I would say Al-Sawadi, I'm not high on him, but he looked solid up until that point. I'm willing to take a shot on Al-Sawadi here by decision. So, we can have a different pick here, but yeah, I'll take a shot on Al-Sawadi here by decision and get it done.
All right, me and D-Rose split for the first time. Your boys on Shamrock. D-Rose is on Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. Moving on to the next one, we got Louis Sutherland taking on Brando Pericic. So the Vanilla Gorilla, Louis Sutherland, has had one fight inside the UFC where he got his leg ripped off by Walter Walker 4 months ago. 32 years old, 6'3", 76-inch reach. What do we really know about him, though? It's like you just went there, lost to Walter Walker. But apparently he kicked Walter Walker in the leg and broke his leg, dog. So got some leg kicks there. Brando Pericic trains with City Kickboxing, kind of like a, you know how people from City Kickboxing fight. They all fight the same, jabs, feints, but at heavyweight. So, some skills at heavyweight could be fun. For me, though, D-Rose, I have to go Brando Pericic, just a cleaner striker. He might not hit as hard, but I think just going to be the overall cleaner striker over 3 rounds. Going to be taller, a little bit longer, dude. And, yeah, it's going to be, it's just going to do what he needs to do. Like every City Kickboxing, fighter does. Jabs, feints, if they get pinned up against the fence, pull the ear, go out of the other side. Just do what they do. But if I'm wrong here, wouldn't surprise me because neither one of these fighters do we really know a lot about. So for me, Brando Pericic, let's go via decision, dude. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think this one's for me, I think it should be Pericic's fights to lose. Louis Sutherland is he's like you said, he hurt Walter Walker with the leg kicks. He's pretty decent in that regard. But just from everything that I've seen, he kind of he can kind of get tired as the fight goes. And I know, as you said, the city kickboxing guys, they have a certain style, but they're known to have pretty good cardio too. But I would even say that Perisic, displayed a lot of patience in that last fight, in his debut. And I would say that Perisic wasn't the most impressive, but he was still able to get the job done and still able to get the finish as well. I think Perisic gets the finish here. I'm going to go second round knockout for Brando Perisic.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I think I'm just scared to dude, all these heavyweight fights are going to decision this year, yeah? Like they're all going to
but to be fair, besides like the top end, a lot of the lower guys did. Like they went to decision too. So
even fucking last week, like I didn't think that was going to decision. Went to decision. Here we go.
I'm sorry. I took the fight to start round 2 at -230, but I think the Vitrino Asplin was over 1.5. So I felt pretty good about it. I should have bit the bullet on it.
Yeah. We're gonna move on to one that I'm not gonna talk a lot about. Dude, look how young this dude looks in this fucking picture. He looks like he's like 15 in this picture. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Antonio Trocoli, what are we doing here, dude? We know what he does. He plays poker, bangs Mackenzie Dern. Why are you fighting, dog? Like your life is made, man.
Like, is he even with Mackenzie Dern at this point?
Even if he's not, dude, life complete, dude. You made it.
I mean, you don't have to live another day. You made it.
You could die in it, dog. Be good. Anyway, black belt, but somehow got guillotined by Mansour Abdul Malik and Tresean Gore in his last 2 fights. He got knocked out by Sherabul Magomedov. Not too surprising, and won before the UFC. I think he got into the UFC because he was Mackenzie Dern's boyfriend, to be honest. He's 35 years old, a 6'5" and an 80-inch reach, while Mantis Controversius is 8-1 overall. Only loss was the rear naked choke a long time ago. But dude's young, 26 years old. Dude he knocked out in the Contender Series was rough, man. That dude had to like bring oxygen in and shit for him to get him to wake up, man. He's 6'2", 75-inch reach. And this dude knocks people out, dude. But I was looking. Does he have any submissions? He has a armbar. Does he have any guillotines? I don't know if he has any guillotines, man. Because for me, I'm just looking for Antonio Trocoli to come in here, get punched one time, go for a takedown, and then get fucking choked out. But I don't know if this dude has that in his arsenal. I'm gonna go Controversious knockout round 1, D Rose. But if he hits fucking Trocoli and fucking Trocoli shoots, fucking shoots in like I don't want to get hit by fucking that again, and you see a guillotine get fucking sunk up, there it is, dude. I might just looking. What are the odds on this, man? I have to see. What is Controversious via submission? I'm curious.
You think they had the line this early in the week?
Yeah, I got it over here. Controversious via submission is only plus 350, dog. That's wild. Minus 190 by knockout, plus 350 by sub. Yeah. I'm going by knockout, but as I said, I'll just probably bet Controversious round 1 and just be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste much time on this fight. What has Antonio Trocoli done at this point to make me say, yep, I will pick him to win a fight? He's been clubbed in all of his fights so far in the UFC, and I don't see much change in here, even though we don't know much on Montes. I think it's enough to know that I see a second round knockout coming in this fight for Montes here.
I don't think it's lasting that long. Moving on to the next one, we got Mario Pinte, Felipe Franco. Mario Pinto, 11-0 from Portugal, 28 years old, 6'5", 79-inch reach. Felipe Franco taking this fight on short notice. Yeah, I believe he lost to Freddie Vidal in the Contender Series, dude. Not a good look. Freddie Vidal is bad himself. So you lose to that guy, it's not a good look. That was only 6 months ago. He's 25 years old, 6'1", 76-inch reach. I ain't spending no time here. Give me Mario Pinto. He is patient, dude. So I might let's go Mario Pinto knockout. Let's go late round 2, early round 3 once Felipe Franco gasses. He's taking this fight on short notice, and he ain't good to begin with. Thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah, I think I think this is a good setup for Mario Pinto. I know I think Felipe Franco, I think he was kind of regarded as a pretty decent prospect coming in.
Do you remember Pinto's last fight when he was speaking Portuguese and then just changed up mid-sentence to like proper Manchester English, and he was like, "Sorry, I don't speak that good of English," and it was like he fucking sounded like fucking Michael Bisping fucking talking. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude's a bilingual machine, because he was nailing all the languages down too, like Portuguese, freaking speaking English. I mean, dude was going everywhere. But yeah, I think Pinto's super tough. Like you said, he's patient, he's calculated, but he's also got power. He's one of those UFC heavyweights who younger guys who, if he can get past someone like Felipe Franco, you think you don't want to say sky's the limit, but in a weaker division, Mario Pinto could be right up there toward the top of the division. So give me Mario Pinto here. I don't know much about Felipe Franco, so I'm not going to act like I do. But I think Mario Pinto gets it done. I want to go round 1 KO. I think Felipe Franco gasses early. I think Mario Pinto lands a money shot and gets him out of there.
That's fair, man. Moving on to the next one, we got the last Kingsman. I knew he changed his name. Nathaniel Wood taking on Lucien Keita, the Black Panther. Nathaniel Wood, 22-6 overall. Lucien Keita, 16-1 overall. Nathaniel Wood, 32 years old, 5'6", and a 69-inch reach. Lucien Keita, 28 years old, 5'7", 72-inch reach. Tough one for me, D-Rose. I've been going back and forth on this one because Lucien Keita has the power to snooze some fools. Dude's raw and experienced now, 16-1 overall. But Nathaniel Wood, dude, this UFC vet, dude, came in here, was at 135, was, had a few wins, had a few losses, moved up, dude. And since he's been up at 145, seems to be just the quicker guy just to get in and out and just keeps winning. He's in these close fights. He gets dropped in the first round every single fight, dude. It never fails. But it's almost like once that happens, it's like a switch flips and I'm like, oh shit, I have to go now. And from that point on, he just wins the rest of the fight. So it's a tough fight because Lucien has the power to knock down Nathaniel Wood. And what if Nathaniel Wood don't get up? But at the same time, UFC newcomer, I don't want to say he's not too experienced because he's got experience, but not UFC experience. And Nathaniel Wood can put that pace on you round 2 and 3. So it's tough for me, D-Rose. I think I'm going to go Nathaniel Wood as the dog here, but I don't feel too confident on it, man. I think Nathaniel Wood probably gets hurt in the first round and picks it up round 2 and 3, does what Nathaniel Wood does, wins in his hometown. Give me Nathaniel Wood to win via decision. Which way are you going here, man? Tough one for me.
I think this was a tough one for me too. But Lucien Keita, I'm curious to see if this fight even happens. We know
because it's down at 145. Yeah. Pitbull didn't want to fight him down at 145.
Because the weight cut thing, because he missed weight by like a good bit too. Like it wasn't close. It was like 3 pounds that he had missed by. I understand Pitbull don't want to take that fight because he's like, hey, my UFC career's on the line at this point. I need to make sure I can, at least have a fair playing field. So I'm curious to see if Lucien Keita can get this weight cut down. And if he's having a tough time making that weight cut like that, I mean, ask Nathaniel Wood about how tough a weight cut is. He was down at 135, making himself struggle. He had a knockout loss to John Dodson, and I think it's been up at featherweight ever since. And has looked good at featherweight for the most part, and he's looked good against a lot of these younger prospects that has came up. And I'm actually with you. Yeah, I think Nathaniel Wood is good enough to get it done, and I think even though there's a little bit of home cooking in there too, I think this is a fun fight. Nathaniel Wood knows how to throw down. I know Keita has the power, but I think if Nathaniel Wood gets out of that first round, I think from that point on, good IQ, good power, good speed. I think it's Nathaniel Wood's fight to lose after the first round. So give me Nathaniel Wood here to get it done.
That's fair, man. Moving on to the next one, we have Mason, the Dragon Jones, taking on Axel Sola. We saw Axel Sola come in last fight, up a weight class, knock out Reese McKee, body shots. Looks good, I guess, but one of these fringe fighters, is he the BSD fighter or is he the Cyril Gahn fighter? Kind of really, he's looking like maybe more toward the BSD side, but we got to find out. He's got a tough test this weekend, taking on Wales' Mason, the Dragon Jones. 17-2 overall, 30 years old, 5'2", 74-inch reach, and his second stint here in the UFC. In his last fight, knocked out Balaji Oki, and before that beat Jeremy Stephens via decision where he didn't need to, dude. He could have probably knocked out Jeremy Stephens multiple times there in that fight. I feel like he just carried him through the fight for some reason. Maybe he respected Jeremy Stephens a little too much. I don't know. But on the other hand, Axel Sola came in, knocked out like Reese McKee. Aside from that, he was in Aries. He's 28 years old, 6'2", and a 74-inch reach. Another tough one for me here to call, D-Rose. I want to go Mason Jones because I'm more familiar with him. He's tough. But Axel Sola, he's big, dude. Big guy. 6'2" at lightweight, man. This is... I guess we'll see, man. Is he going to have this tall man's fucking defense? Is he going to be cutting too much weight? I don't know. I think I'm going to go Mason Jones here, man. I'm not confident in it. Probably not going to be betting too much on it. Maybe I'll bet the over because Mason Jones is basically like Marvin Vettori 10 years ago when he would just had an iron chin. Just basically the lightweight Marvin Vettori at this point. Don't do a whole lot, but just like Marvin Vettori did, he'll do enough to win, cage pushing, takedowns, has some power, will lump you up, stuff like that. But for me, give me Mason Jones to win this fight via decision. I don't feel great about it, though, D-Rose. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is certainly a tough fight to pick. I mean, I've been going back and forth with this one as well. And, the way that I kind of see it is that it's more kind of like precision striker with Sola versus Mason Jones is kind of like the brawler type. And I thought the Jeremy Stephens fight, I thought that was a fun fight. I mean, I thought he just kind of bit down on his mouthpiece and, went for it. I know, there late in the fight, he was getting a little cautious, but I thought Jeremy Stephens there toward the end of the fight was he knew he was behind in the fight and kind of had to press the gas. And I thought he really did. But I thought Jeremy Stephens was able to push Mason Jones a little bit more into my comfort. I picked Balaji Oki to beat Mason Jones last time, and Balaji Oki did hurt Mason Jones. We just know how bad, Balaji Oki's gas tank is, and he eventually ended up gassing in the fight. So, for me, I think Axel Sola has a good opportunity here. Like we were talking about the size. I know their reach is about the same, but if he can use his size, I think that can be one way that he can try to get the job done. Make Mason Jones try to chase him a little bit. Give me Axel Sola here to get it done by decision, man. I think I'll take a little shot in the what looks like the slight dog right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to the next one. We got Curtis, the Pink Panther Campbell, taking on El Puma, Danny Silva. Pink Panther, Curtis Campbell, Paddy Pimblett's teammate, known for his rear naked chokes. Looks like he wouldn't do anything to you in the street, but he'll choke your lights out. Undefeated, 8-0, won on the Contender Series via knees and punches against Demba Sek. He's 23 years old, 5'9" and 72-inch reach, while Danny Silva, 11-2 overall. He lost to Kevin Vallejos via decision, so we know he's tough as all hell, can take a punch. But like Chris Moutinho, like Harry Hardwick, you can't just get away with just being tough. He has won in the UFC against Lucas Almeida via split decision. He beat Josh Kulabau via split decision, but I don't know if either one of those dudes are still in the UFC. He beat Angel Pacheco on the Contender Series. 29 years old, 5'11". Dude, I think this is this is served up for Curtis Campbell to come in here, take this dude's back all 3 rounds, and win this fight via decision, back control all 3 rounds. I don't know if he gets him out of there. Don't think so. Give me Curtis Campbell via decision. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. I've actually been going back and forth with this one a little bit. I think Danny Silva, I think a lot of people are holding him in high regard because where he took Vallejos to a decision, and Danny Silva is definitely tough, and I think for his striking's good and everything, but I do think Curtis Campbell's going to look to get this fight down to the ground, and that is going to be where he can shine the most. And I think even you go back to that Culibao fight with Danny Silva. To me personally, I had a bet on Culibao in that fight. Culibao was a pretty decent underdog, and I thought Culibao won that fight. And he used a little bit of wrestling and grappling, was able to get Silva down. And I think Curtis Campbell is someone who's a little bit more focused on getting the fight down to the ground. Let me take Curtis Campbell here. I want to go by decision.
That's fair, man. Moving on up to the next one, where we have Roman Dolidze taking on Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD, if you will. Roman Dolidze, 15-4 overall, 37 years old, 6'2" and a 76-inch reach, while Christian Leroy Duncan is 13-2 overall, 30 years old, 6'2" and a 79-inch reach. Out of Christian Leroy Duncan's last 5 fights, he has 4 wins and 1 loss. Win over Claudio Ribeiro, lost to Hobocop, win over Andre Polayev, win over Eric Anders, and win over Marco Tulio 4 months ago. On the other hand, Roman Dolidze, out of his last 5 fights, 3 wins and 2 losses, lost to Nasruddin Imavov, win against Anthony Smith, win against Kevin Holland, win against Marvin Vittori, lost to Anthony Hernandez 7 months ago. Yeah, man, this is that one that I was talking to y'all about. Roman Dolidze has came through for us once before against none other than Phil Hawes. He was a big underdog for Roman Dolidze to finish. Phil Hawes was like plus 500. And although I don't think Roman Dolidze finishes Christian Leroy Duncan here this weekend, dude, Christian Leroy Duncan, I say this every time he fights, just a dumbass, dude. Throws fucking spinning back asses. The fucking spinning back fist came after the spinning back ass in his last fight, knocked out Marco Tulio. But, dude, Roman Dolidze is tough. He's got a fucking chin. Marches forward, throws power shots. Dude, unless it's a robbery and it goes to decision, I think Roman Dolidze wins this fight like 7-8 times out of 10, and he's currently like a plus 385 dog, dude. Roman Dolidze is getting my money this weekend, and probably a good amount of it. Also, Roman Dolidze by decisions like plus 800. What the fuck's happening here? Are we acting like fucking Christian Leroy Duncan's John Jones? Like, what the fuck is happening here? I don't know if I've seen one single person this entire week pick Roman Dolidze, and I've looked, I've searched, can't find one person. This is the one this week. I'm against everybody. Give me Roman Dolidze to win this fight via decision. Big dogs over here. We got to eat.
Yeah, the thing is, I know you said you have not seen a lot of people pick Roman Dolidze, and I can tell you, I'm not picking Roman Dolidze. I'm picking Christian Leroy Duncan because I think Roman Dolidze. I think a lot of people are going to look at that last fight in total and just say all of a sudden, oh, well, he can't get it done. The Fluffy was obviously a bad matchup, but I still think at the end of the day, Roman Dolidze, a little bit older, his striking, the way that he strikes, he's just kind of one big looping overhand to where I think, Christian Leroy Duncan, again, I would say on this podcast, we're not the biggest fans of Christian Leroy Duncan with the spinning back ass, but I would say that he, against people who are predictable strikers, he does tend to look pretty well against them. Eric Anders, he looked well against him. Even Marco Tulio, looked great against him in his last fight as well. I think Christian Leroy Duncan, he's starting to come into his own a little bit, and I think it's a good opportunity here, man. I'm going to go round 2 knockout for Christian Leroy Duncan. I think Roman Dolidze gets a little frustrated not being able to chase him down. He gets tired of Christian Leroy Duncan shaking his ass at him. He, Roman Dolidze goes to charge, and I think Christian Leroy Duncan has a counter shot that puts him out.
All right, that's the third one. Me and D-Rose are split on, so we have locked in pick champ this week. Moving on to the next one, we got Iwo Barnetsky taking on Austin Lane. Man, Iwo Barnetsky was in my fight of the year last year, whereas Iwo versus Ebo, dude. They went in there, pulled down their pants, started swinging their dicks like this, and said, "Come on, brother." Like, that's exactly what happened. They just went in there and helicoptered each other, dog. Both dudes got fucking knocked down 3 or 4 times. But Iwo comes out as the winner in round 1, dude, 3 months ago. Fun fight, dude. From Poland. He's got that Polish power. He's 27 years old, 6 foot, and a 73-inch reach, while Austin Lane, moving down from heavyweight, man, somehow was ranked the number 25 heavyweight in the world. In this case, I just need to fucking gain maybe like 30 pounds, dude. I could be the number 26 heavyweight in the world, dude. What the fuck's happening here, dog?
It's crazy.
It's nuts, dog. Anyway, Austin Lane, former Jacksonville Jaguar player, 38 years old, 6'6", and an 80-inch reach, dude. He last weighed in at 245, dude. Where is Austin Lane getting 40 pounds from him, dude? Maybe there's fucking dog turds on his head, maybe weigh about 5-6 pounds. But aside from those, dog, I just, where's 40 pounds coming from? Because it ain't like he was fat, like it ain't like he was jacked. He was kind of a thin heavyweight, dog. I mean, 6'6" is a big guy. Where is he getting 40 pounds from to make light heavyweight?
And he's a big dude. Like, just in general, a big dude.
Yeah.
Like, he was a big heavyweight.
Where's he getting these 40 pounds from, dog? Is this going to happen? Is he going to make light heavyweight?
I would, I mean, if he's committing to it, I would think, because a lot of times the fighters have to go to the UFC PI and, say, hey, is this something that's possible? Obviously, they've kind of given him the green light to do it, but I can't imagine that it's going to be the easiest, considering, again, Austin Lane's just a big dude, man. He's 6'6", 240 and some change, and again, like you said, it's not like he's the fattest guy in the world. He's in pretty good shape. So yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. With all that being said, I think if he does make it, he's gonna be cutting too much. Give me Iwo Barnetsky round 1 knockout, dog. You're gonna come in here and fucking blast Austin Lane. What's your thoughts here?
I think whether Austin Lane made the weight or not, I just think the story of his career is kind of written at this point. I mean, he didn't
there's
have
like a foot height difference though.
Yeah, but I just think, just in general, the chin of Austin Lane has been what's ultimately failed him, and he was never really the best athlete at heavyweight. So you're going down to a division to where, yeah, he's going to be bigger than Barnowski, but I think Barnowski is going to have a significant speed advantage against Austin Lane. But let's be fair, Austin Lane wasn't the fastest guy at heavyweight either. So, give me Barnowski, and I say I'm going to say round 1 KO.
That's fair, man. Me and you agree in there. Moving on to the feature fight of the night, we got Michael Venom Page taking on Sam Patterson. Dude, I am confused at this one, dude. Here, let me break it down real quick. MVP, 24-3 overall, 38 years old, 6'3", 79-inch reach. Sam Patterson, 14-2-1 overall, 29 years old, 6'3", 78-inch reach. Out of Sam Patterson's last 5 fights, lost to Yanai Ashmoza in his UFC debut down a weight class, moved up, choked out Johan Lanus, beat Kiefer Crosby via arm triangle, knocked out Danny Barlow, and knocked out Trey Waters. On the other hand, MVP, since joining the UFC, beat Kevin Holland via decision, lost to Ian Gary via decision, beat Sherabullet Magomedov via decision, and beat Jared Cannonier via decision. These odds are no longer these odds, dude. I'll tell you that. I know MVP's maybe like a -175 favorite now, dude. There are so many people this week picking Sam Patterson to come in here and knock out MVP, and I don't see it, dog. Like this is MVP's weight class, dude. This is MVP cutting down a weight class where I've seen him kill dudes at. Like if I would have seen what he did to the fucking what's dude's name that he would like fucking through the flying knee at. Yeah. If I would have seen that happen in the street, dog, I'd be like, oh, that guy's dead. Like I just saw someone die. His skull is caved in, dude. It's like, does that just go away? He just doesn't have the bone density or power to. I just, dude, I've seen so many people picking Sam Patterson this weekend and parlaying them up and shit, and I'm like, dog, y'all are going to be real mad when MVP comes in here and does what MVP does. For me, I'm going to pick what he's been doing, MVP via decision, but it's mostly just because Sam Patterson's beat Johan Lanus ass. Kiefer Crosby, more ass than Johan Lanus. Yeah, he beat Danny Barlow, but anyone can get called, dog. I don't know what happened in that fight. Left hand to God had not been praying, apparently. And then beat Trey Waters, standing KO. That was an odd one, dude. But Trey Waters, he's tall, he's lanky, tall man's defense, but let's not pretend like he's got like knockout power with his heat to throw back. Sam Patterson's not beating like top contenders. MVP's won every fight against everyone except Ian Gary, dog. And then like that, Ian Gary's good. And it's like, what you have to count on is Sam Patterson to do what Ian Gary did to win this fight. Could it happen? I guess so. I just don't see it, man. MVP via decision for me. What about you, man?
Yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it for the way I see it. I think for me as well, I think the experience level for MVP, and I would say even say UFC experience. Now, I think Sam Patterson had the rough loss down at 155 against Asmos, and let's just say, like, dude, he probably shouldn't have even been cutting down to lightweight because, dude, he is a massive welterweight. So it's like to think that Sam Patterson could even make 155 was absolutely crazy. But he does have a very move forward style, and want to hunt his opponent down. That sets up perfectly for what MVP wants to do. And Sam Patterson doesn't really throw much leg kicks, which is one weapon that can take out MVP. And he could potentially get the fight down to the ground, and he is in a very aggressive submission attacker, but I don't know if MVP is going to give him those moments. I think with Sam Patterson being a pressure forward fighter, I think this actually sets up perfectly for MVP to finally have his highlight reel moment here in the UFC, whether it be kind of one of those darting right hands when Sam Patterson steps in and one of those kind of flying knees out of nowhere. Give me MVP round 2 KO, man. I think he finally.
Do you think he's going to kill Sam Patterson, or do we see our first death in the octagon this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, the way the MVP hurts people is so weird,
crazy.
Because well, and even when you go back to, I can't even remember the last
dude, like the leg kick,
the guy in the knee.
They kicked each other's fucking legs, and it's almost like the dude's leg.
He kicked dude in the knee and literally ruptured the dude's knee. Like
it doesn't make sense because your knee's like harder than what leg bone should be, dog. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and
what is he made of?
So MVP hurts people, dude. And I think this is a good matchup here. So yeah, give me MVP
the density
KO round 2.
He's dense, dude, and this is his weight class. In what other pro sports y'all think translates to MMA in terms of baseball, football, basketball? Dude, I don't know. Have you ever seen any MMA fighter try to play any other sports, dog? Like, have you ever seen any other fighter try to shoot a basketball, dog? I would think basketball, though, dude. What about you?
The best
just because footwork. What other pro sports do you think would translate to MMA? I would think basketball because footwork. That's the only thing that I think maybe translated. Just has nothing to do with shooting the ball, but footwork maybe.
The only reason why I think football is just because the toughness, the
Of
kind
the
of
physical nature.
display.
Yeah.
The
But
physicality,
I mean, you look back at the fucking football players, that translate. It hasn't gone too good, dude. You look at Austin Lane, fucking Greg Hardy, just
No.
getting toasted.
Yeah, well, and I mean, you could also say guys like OSP who played football, and he was a pretty good athlete, and things like that too. So I do think that toughness translate, but ultimately, guys coming into the sport that late in general, it's just gonna be
Yeah,
tough for
just
them
tough.
to make that transition.
Yeah. Crazy fight 5 months ago. I mean, Volk did rugby. There you go. Volk did rugby. All right, D-Rose, moving on up to the co-main event where we have Bonnie Blue taking on the Texas Kid, Michael Aswell Jr. Yeah, I think I saw Michael Aswell when I was in Houston. I was like, that dude looks familiar, but I wasn't sure who it was, and I think it was Michael Aswell. Anyway, we've got Bonnie Blue here, 12-0, 26 years old, 5'9", and a 69-inch reach. While Michael Aswell Jr. is 11-3 overall, alternating wins and losses here. 25 years old, 5'8", 69-inch reach. Trains with Josh Van at the 4-Ounce Fight Club. They're on a run now. The thing is, the Rose, Michael Aswell, like a lot of other dudes that we've talked about on this card, just one of those tough dudes that just walks forward, kind of in your face. I mean, let's look at his lost to Bogdan on the Contender Series. Went out of the UFC, lost to Balagioki, and beat Lucas Almeida 4 months ago. But do you remember that fight, D-Rose? When fucking Lucas Almeida's hand was a balloon. Like, I'm like, how are they letting – I like zoomed in on him. Like, how are they letting him fight? It was at weigh-ins, and that shit was all huge, dog. I was like, dude, what the fuck? So I picked Lucas Almeida in that fight, not knowing he had a flat tire going into the race. So – Michael Aswell, 25 years old, 5'8", 69-inch reach. Already said that. Yeah, for me, I'm just picking fucking Bonnie Blue here. Luke Riley's got power, man, and he's decent on the ground. I don't think he's got enough power to knock Michael Aswell out, just because Michael Aswell is one of those dudes, tough, walks forward, is known for being tough. So that being said, give me Luke Riley to win this fight via decision, man.
Yeah, I think honestly, I really couldn't have broken down the fight too much more well than that. And I think Luke Riley's got pretty decent striking, and he's got the takedowns and stuff as well. And that was where Bogdan was able to get a win over Michael Aswell. I think Michael Aswell is fun. I think particular matchups he could be kind of like a knockdown drag out type fight, because even in that Balagioki fight, they were pretty much just trading back and forth, and Aswell was clearly the smaller guy than Balagioki, but was still giving Balagioki all he can handle up at 155 on short notice. So I think it'll be a fun fight, but I think Luke Riley just ultimately got more tools to get it done. I say Luke Riley by decision.
It's fair, man. Moving on up, main event of the evening time. If y'all haven't already, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Subscribe if you're new, and if you're on mobile, hit the hype button. Hype your boys up over here. Main event, Movsar Evloev taking on Lerone, the Miracle Murphy. Movsar Evloev, 19-0, no losses. Have his last 5 fights, 5-0. Hakeem Dawodu decision, Dan Ige decision, Diego Lopez decision, Arnold Allen decision, and Aljamain Sterling decision. 32 years old, 5'7", 72-inch reach. Lerone Murphy, 17-0-1 overall. Won all of his last 5. Josh Kulabau decision, Edson Barboza decision, Dan Ige decision, Josh Emmett decision. Aaron Pico knockout 6 months ago, spinning back elbow. You guys remember that. He's 34 years old, 5'9", and a 73-inch reach. Someone's O has got to go here, D-Rose. And as much as I think it would be better for Lerone Murphy to win this fight, yeah, man, just from what I've seen, Lerone Murphy, he gets taken down, man. Does he fight his way back up? Yeah. But, dude, I remember him getting taken down. I know Josh Kulabau for sure took him down. Edson Barboza didn't. Dan Ige probably, I know there was one other one where I saw him get fucking taken down too, dude, while I was doing my fucking fight research. And I was like, dude, if Movsar does that, he's not getting up. Like, he's just going to stay there the rest of the round, dude, because how good is Lerone Murphy's grappling? Really, he's holding down Diego Lopez. He's holding down Arnold Allen. He's holding down Aljo, dude. On the other hand, on the feet, dude, he's kind of getting cracked against Mean Hakeem, and I am probably the biggest hater of Mean Hakeem now, dude. I don't think he's good at all. And he was kind of boxing up fucking Mobsar there. Danny Gay, obviously, given fucking Mobsar problems on the feet. Diego Lopez, in the third round of that, dude, Mobsar was in that fucking knee bar, cranking that bitch. So, Arnold Allen, I think we know how good Arnold Allen is at this point. And the Aljo fight, Aljo could have won that fight, dog, if he would have just stood up when they fought, dog. But it's like he tried to go back for the takedown again and ended up on fucking bottom. So, that being said, Mobsar has beaten better people. I think he wins this fight. What I am worried about, dude, is maybe we haven't seen him in 5 rounds yet. And maybe if Lerone Murphy can extend him a little bit later, maybe we can see what he looks like past round 3. Because round 3, Mobsar doesn't look the best. But, I mean, he's been off for so long now. You got to know he's been preparing for this now. If he can go 5 rounds, I don't see how Lerone Murphy wins this fight outside of just landing a knockout shot, dude, because he ain't going to stop the takedowns. And I saw on Instagram, been training takedown defense, dude. What are you doing? It's too late for that, dog. We're past there. You try to take down defense. You need to be training. You need to be starting on your fucking back with the guy on top of you. Coach blows the whistle. Try to get up, because that's what this fight's going to be like. You need to practice getting up, not practice not getting taken down, because you're going to get taken down, dude. It is what it is. So for me, Evloev via decision. Do you feel any different, D-Rose?
Man, this is a fight that I think for some UFC fans, not necessarily us, but I think some guys, feel bad for, I think, both fighters, because I think you could really make the argument that both guys could be in a title fight. But
they should have both already fought for a title, though.
Yeah, they both could. It could have been Mobsar and then Lerone next, and then it was going to be Lerone, and then it was going to be Mobsar, and it ended up being neither. And now they're fighting each other. So it does suck for both of them from that perspective. But at the end of the day, they haven't made the biggest impression on the UFC, and I think for
they're
Mobsar,
going to do Volk versus fucking Diego 3 before the winner of this fight gets a title.
Swear, dude. Dude, you're just waiting on it at this point. That's what it freaking feels like, man. And but yeah, for me, I think Mobsar clearly the better grappler. Lerone clearly the better striker. I want to see where that 5-round experience comes into play for Mobsar here, because I do think that Lerone Murphy has gone 5 rounds before. He did get taken down by like Josh Emmett and guys like that, and because Josh Emmett literally picked him up with like all his might and threw him down to the ground, like just tried to make sure he can get him down to the ground. But Lerone Murphy did a very good job at holding himself up for the most part, and even against Pico in short spurts when Pico was able to get him down up against the fence, Lerone Murphy got up pretty quickly for the most part. I'm going to pick Lerone Murphy to get it done, man. And I kind of I'll be honest, more of a rooting pick than an analytical pick here. I would rather see Lerone Murphy get it done. And I want to see if the ring rust kind of plays into a factor for Mobsar as well, because, dude, he just has not fought a lot over the last couple of years. I mean, it's crazy that the Hakeem Dawodu fight that's almost 5 years ago is within the last 5 fights of Mobsar's career, versus where, you go to Lerone's, and he's fought, how many times over the last 3 years? He's fought 5 times over the last 3 years. And, you might get, you got 3 fights in the last 3 for Mobsar. So you're just saying 1 a year. I think the activity can help Lerone here too. I say in a big upset knockout for Lerone Murphy, kind of like what he did against Makwan Amirkhani. A little bit of a step in knee as Mobsar goes down for the takedown and gets him out of there.
All right, man. I don't hate it. I wouldn't hate it, because let's not pretend like fucking Mobsar is a fun fighter,
Yeah.
All right, doggy dog. Well, with that being said, see what you guys got to say in the chat, and we'll get into the pick champ. Anton wants to know who's our favorite prospect right now. Maybe a little recency bias, but dude, Kevin Vallejo's a problem. Problem at 145.
Well, I don't even know if necessarily he's a prospect anymore. I mean, at this point, he's a, especially beating guys like Giga Chikadze and Josh Emmett, he's gone from prospect to contender pretty quickly. Don't necessarily have any prospect. Yeah, I don't necessarily have any off the
because
right now. I mean, Jose Delgado's one, I would say, who I was pretty excited about coming into the UFC. But
are all the nerds past being prospects now as well?
Yeah, for sure, because they're all ranked and stuff now. So yeah, I see somebody like a Jose Delgado, somebody who's like 2-3 fights in or something like that. But
gotcha. I got Lerone winning this. It'll be close, but I think he can stuff takedowns. Maybe. Think he'll prepared after getting taken down by Aaron. I can't see why Lerone can't win this. Also, how much longer does Lerone have his prime? He's 34 now, going on 35. Hasn't taken much damage, except for being shot in the face. Yeah, he got shot in the face, dog. Don't forget that.
Yeah, this is the last bit of prime that he has left. Let's say that.
Yeah. How do y'all feel about the White House card? At this point, dog, I don't like. That's one thing I wanted to ask you earlier, D-Rose. Did you see earlier or this week at all where they said that because MMA isn't legal in DC, that this will be the unsanctioned fucking fight, so this won't count on any of the fighters' records? The White House card. So it'll be like the fucking Floyd, fucking Mayweather fucking boxing matches called. Yeah, this is gonna be like an exhibition MMA event, dog. I'm like, you have 2 title fights. How do you make it an exhibition if there's 2 title fights on there, dog?
That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do for like the legislation before then, though, dog, because I don't think it's fucking legal in fucking DC.
They will not host exhibition matches on the White House card. The UFC will not do that. I will refuse to believe it. At that point, what's the point?
I agree. Yeah. I think it's gonna be fun either way, dog. Anyway, let's move on to the pick champ. We got 4 different picks, D-Rose. We have Shamrock versus Kareem Abdul Al-Sawadi. We have Mason Jones versus Axel Sola. We have Roman Dolidze versus Christian Leroy Duncan. When we have Movsar Evloev versus Lerone the Miracle Murphy. Is there one that you think I'm going to throw off there, D-Rose?
Probably the main event.
You think that? You would be incorrect, sir. The one I feel least good about, I think, is Mason Jones and Axel Sola, just because he's bigger. It's like, dude, fucking, let's not pretend like fucking Mason Jones didn't get cut from the UFC already one time. He's already fucking working his way back. So I think I'm going to throw off Axel Sola versus Mason Jones. That'll be the backup. So our 3 for pick champ this week will be Shamrock versus Abdul Kareem Al-Sawadi, where I have Shamrock. D-Rose has Al-Sawadi. Pick number 2 will be Roman Dolidze versus Christian Leroy Duncan, where I have Roman Dolidze, the big dog. Confident this week. D-Rose going with the big favorite. -500, Christian Leroy Duncan. And Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy, where I got Movsar Evloev. D-Rose got Lerone Miracle Murphy. How you feeling about it this week, D-Rose?
If I get the first fight, I get it done. If I miss the first fight, I'm biting nails.
Really? So I would think that you'd be most confident in the fucking CLD fight, being like a -500.
Yeah, well, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think if Kareem Al-Sawadi, whatever, if he loses, then yeah, I think it's gonna be tough because I think CLD gets it done, but then it comes down to the main event. And that's where I get a little nervous. So
yeah, for me, no nerves, dog. No nerves. I think I got it this week. Clean sweep incoming. Fucking D-Rose about to be in a fucking Marge Simpson wig next week.
No, I won't say that because I've already Like I said, I'm already basically counting that Roman Dolidze and CLD win. So
You are okay. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel good because, dude, no one at all has picked Roman Dolidze this week. I'm like the only one on earth picking Roman Dolidze.
There might be a reason.
Well, remember when I picked Bruno Brazil against fucking Molly McCann? No one was with me. Your boy fucking Cash, dog. Your boy fucking Cash. Also, you think they'll retop this? I thought they couldn't top the Sphere. Yeah, it'll be tough, Antoine. But I think what's the bad thing about the White House card is it's only 6 fights, dog. That's kind of dumb. That's kind of lame. Not gonna lie. Like shit's gonna be over in like 2 hours.
Yeah, but I mean it's on a Sunday night too, so I don't want it to be going on for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it is what it is. D-Rose got to work. So, all right, y'all. That is Pick Champ this week. So next week you can see D-Rose here in a Marge Simpson wig, eating some Carolina Reaper hot beans. That's what you can see.
Not a chance.
What fights? Yeah, I have no clue. There's still a lot of time between here and there. I ain't gonna get excited about nothing yet, dog, because the BMF fight ended the way it did. So I ain't getting excited about nothing.
Exactly. So you gotta let these things play out.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. I want to see Yuri versus Carlos. That'll be good, man. That'll be good. But like I said, I don't want to get too excited yet because anything can happen between now and then, dog. Lots of time. Fights pull out all the time. All right, y'all. Well, we appreciate you guys. We've been here about 2 hours, 8 minutes or so. We appreciate y'all for stopping by. If y'all haven't already, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. And we will catch you guys next week for the recap for this week and giving y'all the news and breaking down next week's card. But that being said, my name is Matt D-Rose on that side of the screen, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.